Dog Patch is its own communities, just like Salt Creek, just like Bessemer. Our area is our own little world. We have our own elementary school, we have our own church, we have a softball field that brings in tournaments every summer. Dog Patch, as small as it is, it has grown probably double in size since when I was a kid.
So Dog Patch to me really means community and family and roots. There were so many people, from the parents to the teachers to even our principal back then. You know, my principal was Eva Baca. Now the school is named after her. Everybody really wanted to make sure that we were rooted in our community, in our culture, in who we were. And I think that that's really allowed many of us to have the confidence to go out and forge our own paths and our own way, but then still be able to come home and feel like we are home.
Everybody was interconnected, intertwined, and it felt like even though you weren't related to these special families, you're related by love. It was all about family and connection, and I think that's something special too, that even to today there's generations that live in the spaces that were left before.
The one thing that for me has always been really special about Dog Patch is the fact that it's not just your neighbor. Your neighbor could actually be your cousin, your grandparent, your uncle, your aunt. A lot of our family grew up here.
You know, it's the plains of Pueblo. It's an amazing place to see and live. People take that for granted just because it's out there, you know, it didn't have any love, but when the people came here, they gave it love. They created a community. A neighbor became a friend, and a best friend, and a compadre, and a homie, or whatever you want to call it. That's their bud, you know. They became their teammate, they became their pallbearer, who knows, but they worked together.
What Dog Patch means to me, family, and for sure faith. With Dog Patch, no matter what we're doing, we're always drawn back to St. Anne's for either Mass or any special occasions, faith. Then we have community. I think Dog Patch is, anyone that comes to Dog Patch, even to St. Anne's, anyone and everyone is welcome.
It's a community that's ever changing. Some family members have stayed, some of their offsprings have stayed here, but it's changing by just how we have lights now. We didn't have lights on Troy to exit the area that were safe. We didn't have decent sidewalks way before I came across from the other side of Pueblo community, so a lot has changed.
Paved streets, we didn't have back then. Bathrooms in the house, running water. We've gotten more people moving into Dog Patch because they want to come and live in a place where it's not neglected by the residents.
Hi, my name is Julie Grego. I am from Pueblo, Colorado, and I am currently the principal at Baca Elementary School here in Dog Patch. I wanted to become the principal at Baca because I'm from a similar community, and I always thought that it would be fun to serve in something the same capacity. I like the smaller communities, I like the smaller schools. I felt like I could make a bigger impact. I pride myself on really building relationships with my school community, the community I serve, my students, the parents. Baca Elementary was built in 1959. And in the 80s, it caught on fire. They had to rebuild the school. Eva Baca was the principal at the time. And then in 1993, they changed the name from Eastwood Heights to Baca Elementary School. And literally, the school went from ashes to being one of the top schools in District 60.
Working with the Colorado Trust, one of the things we wanted as a group was a mural, and luckily Elaine was able to talk to her sons and we had a blank canvas. So we wanted to include the things that represent this little community. You'll see in the mural Eva Baca, because the school is what connected us as kids and families. The church festival, because that is something that connected everybody in this community in July.
We would have a church festival every year. That festival was used to raise money for St. Anne's Church so that our church would stay afloat for the next year. And everybody in the community volunteered. For every family in Dogpatch that worked the festival, their inner family volunteered as well. Anybody who was part of the council for the St. Anne's Festival, their family was brought in to work the booths, and we did that for years. My parents would let us roam the festival, and they didn't need to worry because everybody in the community knew us. We always had an eye on us.
The St. Anne's Festival was big every year. I remember playing bingo was the big thing that we always liked to do, and then the food was amazing. A lot of my friends, they worked some of the carnival booths. I never had to do that. I don't know how I got out of it, but I never had to do that. But so I would just get to go and have the food and play bingo.
Being part of the community wasn't just the festival. I mean, we used to have to help at the bingo. My grandma was part of the Altern Rosary Society, and so she was a leader within the community, and most of the women were. The men were involved with the Knights of Columbus, and the women were part of the Altern Rosary.
We would always help out with the festival. Whenever the festival was going on, that was something that our parents would expect us to do, is help out. And if anyone's ever worked in the festival, it's not just a few hours a day. Sometimes it's 10 hours each day or more. But it was all good because through all the work, somehow or another you happen to manage to have a little bit of fun, because my mom had the Mexican burrito booth, and sometimes at the end of the day we'd be dancing, trying to make burritos, listening to the music.
So a lot of our kids do the La Gente sports, so they do ask me to come watch them. And so when we have a collaborative effort with La Gente, if we have school resource activities that come on, they always come to those as a community member as well, and we can reach out to them. And then our students and families participate in the sports.
La Gente Youth Sports is so important because keeps the children, the kids, the youth busy during spring break, summer break. After school, the parents enjoy them being able to participate in stuff like that.
I did play baseball for La Gente as well. That was a lot of fun. So the group just really spent a lot of time together. It was really the core group. And so it was group and all the siblings, like there were older siblings, younger siblings, and everybody was really a big family.
My Uncle Manuel, who was involved in the mariachi, got me involved in the mariachis. And he goes, come on down, we can use another guitar player. I showed up, and it was the most wonderful thing I had ever experienced. Walking into a place where, wow, I didn't even know anybody, but I felt so welcomed.
I do feel like I'm part of the community here. Special memories for me, like day-to-day stuff, seeing kids smile, seeing them grow each day, the activities we have that are great memories for the students. But I really like when students come back to see me and they're proud of themselves for the success that they have built, and when they can tell me that Baca made an impact on them. Those are great memories for me.
Community is so tight. Like I mentioned, everybody's parents kind of know each other and look out for each other. And it's just important for the people that grew up here, that lived here, to be able to tell their story, to say what really happened. This was my experience. And I think it gives a voice to people that maybe, stayed quiet, stayed to themselves. And so it just allows those stories to be told.
Anything happening in Dogpatch, we're here. Any event happening in Eastwood, we want to come back and we want to support this community because we have love, we have memories, we have gente. Our families were here. We were brought up in this community with protection, with love, with arms hugging us. No matter who we see or where we're at, anybody that comes out of this community, it's always greeted with a abrazo and a beso.
No one is shut out. Everyone's always welcome, and we invite everyone in with open arms because that's how everybody is with each other here. We, like I said, growing up here, When I was younger, people are the same. I mean, they were just very friendly, very open. And I think they're open because of not only the people here, but because of our parish and our, you know, we're just showing our faith in action, being that friendly person with each other.
I look forward to seeing myself here in the future in Dogpatch. I currently own a house on 11th Street, and I have strong planted seeds here that I've been since I was 7 years old. So what I see happening in the future are just bigger and brighter things. Dogpatch is like a gem to the Pueblo area, and there's several other gems, but Dogpatch has just been something that's a community strong and community driven.
To me, Dogpatch is a community of love. It is a place where everyone belonged. Nobody was judged for their outward appearance or ability, but rather taken in as a family. And it was good to see the kindness that we need to see again in this world.
You know, I love Dogpatch. That's why I got married here, because I do enjoy the community a whole hell of a lot.
The land calls out to you, to your heart. A part of your spirit is in the land, and that it can't ever be separated out because it lives in your heart through your culture and through your history. You know, your collective history, and so I just feel like this land will always be part of who I am.
We rose from the